Crafty Babe crew members. Welcome to your February exclusive process video. Today I am going to talk a little bit about layers, and I'm going to do a spread for my one little word album. And we're going to use some illustrated faith printables, some book paper, a hand lettered one little word customized for me by Crafty Makes. I will leave a link below where you can get yours as well, because she will do that for you in your one little word. Also have some some puffy stickers and some washi tape. So I've done a little bit of prep work on these. I kind of know where I want my stuff. And I also printed a photo of myself on my Square Instax printer. And we are just going to kind of play around, see what kinds of things can be layered and clustered, because I know that was a topic that you girls said you wanted to know a little bit more about. And so there's a couple of places on this layout that we are going to do some layering. And I am no pro at layering. It is something I still struggle with, but I thought that together I could just show you kind of my process for it. So I usually will find a large piece that's going to contrast the back piece. So I've got that mint color grid, and then the contrast is the book paper. From there, I'm just going to place this down because I really want that grace, the G. I want that to go over the book paper. So I wanted to make sure that I did the book paper first and then I layered that. So then here you're going to contrast again. So the next layer is going to be maybe something bright like this paper. And then underneath that, I've got this little vintage to-do list. So even though those are both pieces of paper, like cream colored, one is much lighter than the other, so it actually works really well as a contrast. So I'm pretty happy with just the little pop of color that comes out of the side there. And instead of trying to glue everything down, I'm just going to use my tiny attacher and go for adhering those three things down. It was so simple, you guys. It really doesn't take much to do some layers. Now, a lot of times I will want to put many more layers on, but I do refrain. So I am not really the kind of designer that needs a lot or feels comfortable with a lot of layers. And so when I do layers, I usually stick to 3 to 5 layers only, not including the photo. So, and I felt like there's going to be a little bit of dark happening down at the bottom corner. So I didn't want to do layering all around the photo. I just wanted it to stay up there on the top left. So what you can't see is me struggling with my Dymo label maker. It's been getting stuck lately, and the labels aren't running through properly. So I just typed 2020 because this is obviously my 2020 words of the year. And I do like to trim off the edges of it a little bit. I use a little bit extra space sometimes. And then I'm just going to add a little pink heart. These are puffy hearts from an older Citrus Twist kit. And the colors are so perfect. They just really worked well. So I'm also going to add a couple of hearts up there at the top. And when it comes to clustering, it's kind of the same for me. So I use the one heart down at the bottom and then 2 hearts at the top. And that just helps provide a little bit of balance. And I really was trying to put that border there, but do you see how I really wanted to add another layer, but it wasn't feeling right. And I needed to stop myself. So here I've got a little bit of extra of that mint grid paper, and I'm pulling some of the book paper back over so that we've got something that, feels familiar, things that tie into other parts of the page. Just holding it there for a moment. Sometimes I like to just kind of live with it and just make sure that that's where I want it. Kind of fussing with where I might want it. I know I want to stick this tape down, so I actually use it to adhere the grid, and then I've layered the book paper right on top. What happens next? Your guess is as good as mine. I think we're going to probably start working on that bottom right card with that little reminder note. Oh, I'm grabbing some texture. That's right. This was super fun. So another piece that I'm going to layer on top of that little cluster there is some pink twine. It's actually baker's twine. So I'm just wrapping it around kind of in a really messy configuration and then letting the two ends hang out. So now I've moved that book paper up. So the book paper is covering both the washi and the grid paper. So it's just like a nice cluster there now. And then I just stapled that little piece of twine right onto that cluster. Okay, from here, I really wanted to add this heart, but the pinks are bothering me. They don't match. Like, it's too bright. The heart is too bright and the pink is a little bit too baby pink. So having them right next to each other was just kind of bugging me a little bit. So we'll find another place for another heart, because obviously you have to have another heart on this side. And there we have it. Okay, so what I've done, it is very rare that I will use the same patterned paper for two different like pockets, but using a piece of white cardstock over it to create like a border, it really, really worked. And I just wanted the consistency. And now that the floral paper has made a nice triangle within the full layout itself. I really, really, really want to use that tab with the crosses on it, but it's just not working. So I opt for a little piece of the cross washi. And again, now the black pieces are making their triangle as well in the two cards and down there with the 2020 label. So I've stuck that little reminder note, sticky note down, and I'm going to do some journaling on it. It's basically just about what the words mean. This is basically my opening page for the, my one little word album. I'll end up just using a 6x8 album. I don't have one yet. I kind of needed to figure out what format I wanted to do first. And it's very possible also that these kinds of layouts just get tossed into my personal 6x8 for 2020. It just depends. I'm not married to one format or another at this point. So here we have it. That is really all that it takes to do simple layering with both paper and embellishments. And I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of this that you can use in your own projects. And I am excited that you guys are hanging out. I hope you love everything else that's coming your way this month. And next month is going to be super exciting. We have a big, huge issue coming from Retro Hit Magazine that I hope you love too. And I'm going to leave you with the detailed photos of this project. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will talk soon. Thanks so much.